Our top focus this hour is an issue that's divided the United States for decades: abortion. The recent Supreme Court leak has once again sparked the choice debate across America. Until now, abortion in the US has been guided by the landmark Supreme Court case known as Roe v. Wade. The 1973 case decided that access to abortion is a constitutional right. The 1992 ruling, Planned Parenthood v. Casey, further upheld it. It says that women can get an abortion until the fetus is viable. That's usually around 22 to 24 weeks. So what happens if the Roe v. Wade judgment is overturned? Then it will be up to individual states to decide on the legality of abortion. Ever since the possibility of an overruling made the news, protests have been held across the US. Women from all walks of life have taken to the streets. They're calling for the right to choose what happens to their own bodies and their own futures.
Politics have no right to interfere with how we choose to take care of our bodies. Full stop.
I was absolutely devastated because I was part of the original, years and years ago when we were fighting for Roe versus Wade. It was just like, it struck me in my heart. It was just devastating.
I'm here because abortion is health care. I'm here because I want to make sure that my children have access to the same health care that we've been entitled to for the last 50 years. We shouldn't have to be out here marching again still, but I will, as long as it takes.
Meanwhile, fences have been erected around the US Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. This comes after protesters gathered outside the top court on Wednesday. Well, for more on this story, we're being joined by Lenka White, who's a journalist from New York. Lenka, with half the US states likely to enact the abortion ban once it is passed at the Supreme Court, are we looking at the prospect of pregnant women having to travel hundreds of kilometres for the procedure or having to give birth in traumatic circumstances?
Yes, definitely. I agree with what you are saying. I think it will it will have a great impact on individuals, and they will be simply trying to enforce their rights and even go abroad. And they have here already reports saying that women will be under the danger about like 20% up. So of course, people will try to avoid that. And for example, there have been already news in Canada, because Canada could be one of the spots where majority of the peoples will be simply heading to. So I definitely think that people will be traveling outside to sort of protect their health.
Will the leak of the document from the Supreme Court, will that put any pressure on the court to maybe change its decision? You know, will the fact that it's been leaked make any difference?
I believe it definitely can, because it's not so far a final decision, and it's an opinion on one of the judges. So we have to bear in mind that there are 9 of them, and what I was reading from the reports is that he could sort of dissent from the majority of the other opinions. And of course, what we are seeing now is a huge protest in many capital cities around the states. So it will create a big pressure, and the Democrats are sort of trying to look at their options at the moment. So I think it can very much influence on what is going to happen within the next couple of months. And as we know, the decision should come up in July.
Beyond the politics and the legalities, let's talk about the social issue here. This ban, many women are seeing it as a snatching away of their rights, whereas others support it. It's going to change the social situation in the US.
Yes, America is a very divided state. What we are sometimes seeing, is we focus on the cities like New York, like LA, where majority of the movies are coming from, but we don't see that the United States is composed of very different people. Some of them are extremely religious, and this is creating sort of the division which we are seeing right now among the people about the protests and everything. And we should bear in mind that even the president of the United States, Biden, he was going to Catholic school, and he's actually the second Catholic president in the United States. So, there is a huge division, and it's impacting many individuals. And for example, there have been even news about companies like Amazon or Yelp saying that they will reimburse their employees up to about $4,000 to actually travel outside and circumvent the decision if it comes and if it will be overturned. So it's creating a huge division, and many experts are saying it could even continue and create a deeper division among the left versus right.
You mentioned there that the President, Joe Biden, is a Catholic. He is, however, pro-choice. What can he do and the US Congress, if anything, if Roe versus Wade is overturned? Do they have any recourse?
So this is actually interesting. I was watching sort of a recap of Biden's words from the past, and when he was sworn in 1974, he gave an interview where he said that he thinks that a woman doesn't have the sole right over her body. And when the time went by, his opinion was sort of shifting to more, pro-democratic, saying that, okay, the women have actually right to say what they want to do with their bodies. So this is an interesting thing that actually his own opinion has been shifting. But in terms of the options, as you asked, President Biden has not expressed himself much on this topic. I guess they are sort of trying to figure out what ways they are, because according to the laws, there are not many. He cannot overturn the Supreme Court's ruling. The majority of the judges are conservatives. So there are just news and reports saying that he has simply given instructions to the gender political council, which will look at the ways he can have after that. But other Democratic politicians have been, of course, angry about what's going on, and they said that the Republicans have been plotting until now to sort of, create what's going on. And yes, I believe that it will be difficult for him, and it will definitely be a big part of the midterm elections, which are coming up in fall.